The Moto G brand is well known for offering decent specs at 1/3 the price of its competition. 3 years later, the mid-range market has become saturated with great devices and competition is really fierce. Let's find out if the Moto G has what it takes. The design of the Moto G4 is standard. Slightly round edges, metal bumper with familiar placements of the power and volume rocker on the right-hand side. A full HD and that familiar Moto dimple on the back has us quite excited to rip it off and customize it. A removable back doesn't mean removable battery, but this 3000 mAh quick charge battery is embedded, but it gets us easily through the day. Here you'll find a separate microSD card slot for memory expansions so you don't lose your second SIM to storage. The headphone jack and micro USB port are centered in the all-metal bumper, which feels very durable for the price. This 1080p display is powered by a Snapdragon 617 processor with 3 GB of RAM, which performs perfectly. The UI was fast and nothing took too long to load. The only limitation it does provide is the camera will only be capable of 1080p video at 30 frames per second. This 13 megapixel shooter looks great and it takes quick photos that provide a good amount of detail. But nighttime shots aren't the greatest, and this is where the G4 really shows its budget pricing. We were impressed with Hdr Auto Mode, which turned on in a variety of situations and not just when there was extreme backlighting. When you're taking photos, you're reminded to keep the phone steady, and we like this reminder because with multi-exposure photos, it's easy for it to get a little bit blurry if you don't keep perfectly still. The front camera, however, didn't deal with low light well at all. But in good lighting conditions, my skin looked bright and fresh and had a wide field of view, so a lot of stuff was in the background. With a little bit of editing, you can turn a good photo into a great photo. Moto's camera app has a professional mode. Shutter speed is adjustable from 1/5 second to 1/3200, so you won't be able to take long exposures or time-lapse of the night sky. When it comes to battery life, we've gotten into the habit of not charging at night and just charging in the office using quick charge. 2 hours of social, 2 hours of streaming music, maps, and 20 minutes of photo taking easily left me with 45%. If I turn the Wi-Fi on, it dropped about 25%, but you can easily get a day and a half of battery life out of this device. We're really happy with Moto Gestures. Flip your wrist to turn on the camera, chop twice for flashlight. Usually I never use a flashlight on my smartphone, but with this shortcut, I'm using it almost daily. Moto's lock-screen notifications are still among the best in the business. Pressing down on them provides additional information, which I like because it keeps your notifications private. Sadly, Moto Voice isn't available, so no more "Hello, Moto." Other things we're not happy with are the audio. When looking to share music or video, audio quality isn't crisp at maximum volume. Call quality also wasn't that great. The person on the other side sounded weak and I was a bit muffled. The G4 Plus is also missing an IR blaster, so no controlling your TV, and no NFC, so say goodbye to Android Pay. The Moto G4 offers excellent build quality and features that hit above the price point. The camera takes a good photo with a fine amount of detail, and even though it's missing the bells and whistles of its more expensive big brother, it's quickly become our more favored device. Pair that with great battery life, and you have the makings of a daily driver that won't disappoint. If you want to find out how the G4 stacks up against the G4 Plus exactly, why don't you subscribe to our channel because we'll be releasing that video tomorrow. I'm your host, Nicole Scott for Mobilegeeks.